actually the ones that have passed away in comparison to their white counterparts. And even like in Belgium, there's a large like Congolese population, and a lot of them are complaining over the fact that like nurses and like people,
like the
PSWs that are Black and Africans are the ones that are being pushed to sort of deal with COVID patients more than white nurses and white PSWs, which is interesting because at the same time there's a disparity between access to healthcare for Black people, and the Black community in Europe has been hit a lot more than any other community like ever with COVID. So it's quite scary per se, like because you're seeing the same thing happening in the US where there is like a large like people of color are struggling with surviving COVID.
And now they're saying, oh, this is why you want immigrants.
Yeah,
like, they will do the hard.
They will do the hard work.
Jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's facts.
Like so many cases of like the homes all broke out there, and we saw on the news the other Filipino lady who passed away. Like, and when it comes to Black people, and we have so much history and stuff where the healthcare is not reflecting. Like they're not
how much work they're putting for is not the same one that they're receiving back for themselves.
All right.
I feel that. You know what's crazy? I think like there is a huge like for Black communities, obviously, like I can't even stress that. Yes, like Black communities are being affected by COVID-19 disproportionately because of just like historical reasons that I can't even like I don't no time for it to let like you know what I mean. But also like in a larger like what you brought up, like minority communities in general, like Filipino communities, Black communities, South Asian communities that are nurses, PSWs, people that have taken these jobs, that have encouraged their children to work in these industries to kind of build to build a legacy in this space, are being pushed in the front lines and not having options. You know, and I find that so crazy because even my mom, she's a nurse, and the type of things like when she comes home, I constantly pressure her to really push in to her directors and to the powers that be that are telling this 60-something-year-old woman to go to work every day. And it's one of those things where it's like she's like, well, I don't really want to like cause issues. And so you know what it is? I feel like what we kind of need to do, I think, as like the second generation of these older folk that are minorities that are disposable to some people, is begin to raise our voice. Because I feel like even just from talking to my mom, the type of things that I hear these organizations that are run by the government, even just elite band, the type of things that I hear are dismissive and aren't being told to the Cineplex or aren't options that the guy that owns Cineplex has to sift through. And people say that because he's a millionaire and then he made something for himself. I get that, but he's human like they are. So I think we need to, I don't know, there's something there.
I know that in response to the layoffs that are happening in TTC, our junior staff is like talking to the union to give them options, because they're on the table right now with the executive board and discussing. You know, they say 1,200, but they don't know how or where this 1,200 is going to come from, right? So they're talking about one solution that's being pushed through is to allow people who have 2 years, 3 years left until they're retired, and give them that ability to retire with no penalties, right? That option is being put on the table as well. So it's kind of reducing the number a little bit, giving the opportunity for older staff to retire and, you know, be at home rather than be at work, you know. Because there's out of our staff, there's like a large number of them that are like between the ages of 50 to 70 years old. More. And they're all at work, you know.
It's crazy. That is so crazy. Something else I kind of want to, or does anyone have any other opinions? Any thoughts? All right, cool. Something else. Anything at all, like even about not related to this, because I know it's a very heavy topic. Anyone want to, like, everyone have any? Because I'm about to kind of keep going. Now we're good? Okay.
No, I can do anything.
I actually like had that thought. I'm like, is anybody else like worried about the, how do you call it? Is it curb? Is it CERB? Is it CERB? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
What is the catch, and where is all that money coming from?
all right, so I can explain this because I actually had to look into this and call my mother and make sure that she wasn't going to do it herself or my stepdad, because my stepdad's not working he hasn't worked for 2 months. Curb is basically something that's going to help you if you don't have money, period. If you have a job, if you're working, or if you're going through EI, don't get it because they're going to expect you to pay it back. It's pretty much the same aspect as telling landlords that, yo, you can't evict your tenants, but go ahead and handle, the little arguments that you're going to have.
You're talking about CERB? You're talking about CERB?
Yeah, no, I'm using that. Yeah, sir, but I'm using that as an example of how they're handling this. They're saying that here, we're going to give you this, but the stipulations they give out isn't clear until you go through it, and then you gotta pay it back. That's essentially what I'm reading through like all these people dealing with CURB and dealing with EIA.
Listen,
there's another taxes on it.
Yeah,
so you're getting taxed on it. You're not getting the entire 2,000.
Yeah, you're getting taxed on it too, which is hilarious because it's literally called Canadian Emergency Relief Benefit. What?
Yeah.
You're taxing a relief benefit?
Yeah.
No.
It's in the title.
Yo, that's a mix up. Yo, for real?
It's in the goddamn title.
Yo, don't do that, man.
That is so mix up.
Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, if you literally have nothing, then you can actually benefit from it. But that's if you have nothing and you need it. Then and only then will they give you it for free. Outside of that, be very careful on what you take.
It's crazy. Like you can get taxed on it. Anybody can apply to it, like anybody, right? And even in some cases, people like I know people that have applied for EI instead got this.
Yeah.
They didn't even ask for it?
There's almost like they're not monitoring it. It's just like if you apply for it, you get it, and then there's a catch at the end. No one is thinking about the tax.
Oh, he's trying to go for EI. Let's give him CURB. He's gonna pay us back.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. Because
I know some people that they actually took back the EI and replaced
they did. They replaced it with CURB.
Be like, listen, I'm gonna give you this 2 G's right now, right? And then by next year, you better give that back to me.
If you don't, that credit score
for them to make the money back because it's a lot of money. I don't know where they're getting it from. It's either going to be like, oh, it's just numbers in your account, and really there's nothing in it. I don't know. Or there's going to be a catch somewhere. How are you this time?
Even the one for students, like I'm like,
yeah, that's on top of everyone else.
I'm just
I'll give you guys an example. The U.S. the Feds injected from the Treasury $1.5 trillion into the market. I'm sure many of you heard of that. And then literally within 1 hour, the entire market dropped even twice as hard. And what was hilarious is that someone did the math that I know in the States, and they're like, everyone could have received $4,500 and injected it into the GDP alone as consumers. That would have helped the market by itself. So the same thing here. Like, what was the purpose of sending out benefits if we're going to be paying it back? This country is known for just borrowing, and then expecting future generations to pay it off. Meanwhile, they're selling
is the economy going to be okay? No. By the time we have to start paying it back, like so many people have lost their jobs. So many companies have shut down. Like
businesses are shut down and they won't be open when this is back like
forever. And you're expecting people to find this money from where?
And to be honest, as like minority workers, like my question is, will I have a job? Some people ask other questions like, oh, like what will things be like? I'm like, will I be working? Like, and I feel it's one of those things where it's like I talk to other people and their insights or their fears are a little different. And I talk to a lot of minorities, and we're just like, will I be able to be in my industry? Exist still? You know, it's not just a minority problem. I think there's business owners that like have issues too, and other people that aren't like minorities that have issues. But I think there's a different feeling and amongst our challenges with this. I don't know. Like I'm not sure how to address. But yeah, no, that's interesting. That's interesting. The CERB thing is going to be an interesting situation in terms of things, in terms of what happens in the future with it.
I was actually trying to move before all this happened too.
Sorry.
No, sorry. You're going to start using your bonus to stay alive, not to move. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I gotta teach
Aaron,
a class
thank
right
you.
now. But peace
Yes.
and love to
Yes,
everyone.
Aaron. Aaron, be well.
Please stay safe.
Yes,
You
bro.
too.
I'll see you, man.
See you.
Okay, so another piece I kind of wanted to bring up. I was reading another article about creatives bringing hope to spaces, right? So creative COVID-19 are doing a lot of really amazing things to like bring hope and joy to the world. Something problematic about the article was like, okay, so what are we doing for them? Like, are they homeless, just on their guitar on live? Like, are we, like, what do we do? So, what do you think? Like, as like fashion bloggers, or just even as like, Elias, like as a designer, like, what do you think about that? Like, about creatives being this new source of like joy to get through it, and like maybe not receiving that back. Like, what do you think about that?
Like, I'm personally expected to continue to post, to continue to be on there, to be hilarious, to distract people. But at the same time, in order for me to get content to post, I basically have to make deals with brands that I'm basically giving them free, like, content, free promo. And because my people who follow me are not necessarily going to see me not post for 2 months and think, oh, that's fine, that's okay. Like, because already it's seen as entertainment, right? So no matter what, I'm still expected to create something, and I don't mind, because I understand that, I mean, most people, like, the only thing they're doing is literally going on their phones. So it feels like it's a perfect time, and there's a lot of people who are obviously preaching the idea that this is a perfect time to like start your online and start your business, and I'm like, that's all fun, like, it's fine. However, like, there is no one who is willing to give any money for like to anyone.
Right.
Like, I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in different like products and tools and all that out of my own like pocket. Because I'm